Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. So, first things first, we have a big balance patch coming in, and it's mostly about epics for this game. It's some interesting changes. We'll go over each and every one of them together. But yeah, first things first, this weekend we're gonna have the 2x on ancient shards. So remember, if you were saving them, then that's a good time to open them. So double the chances to get a legendary. And there will be a guaranteed champion event as well through ancient shards. So not only double the chances to get the legendary, so 1%, you'll get Golfred, this dwarf right here, Golfred brass clad. You'll get him at 140 ancient shards, very similar to other guaranteed ones that we had before. This is one of the newer champions added to the game, and he does have the unique stun on his passive right here when somebody is revived. So very useful if you're trying to deny someone's revive in terms of the arena. Not so much useful, I would say, for other areas of the game, such as the dungeons, maybe a little bit for the Doom Tower. I would say Doom Tower there, you have some comps with, let's say, I think one of them has Arbiter in there. Another one I can't remember right now has a Sifi. Both are great revivers. You don't want them reviving. And if they do, boom, you stun them immediately if you do happen to use Golfred. But I wouldn't say go out of your way to just buy shards to get this guy. There's a guaranteed stun if you book him out through his A2, increase defense, and then removes any decreased defense and weakened debuffs from allies on his A3, which is kind of unique in terms of a cleanse, very specific cleanse. But yeah, that's it for this guy. I'm definitely not going for him. If I get him at any time in the future, that's going to be basically from just me getting lucky. All right, let's go and have a look at the changes though, because I'm more interested on the changes on the epics rather than anything else. One of them is Marksman, all right? The first one in the list. I've made a small document to showcase this. So Marksman currently applies poisons on the A1, fills the turn meter on the A2, and the A3 has a chance to ignore defense, right? It's not a bad champion, actually, Marksman, but not really used anymore since other epics outshine him a lot in terms of, you know, clan boss for poisons, and, you know, turn meter fill and all that good stuff. So let's have a look at the changes. So from the 20% chance when fully booked to get an extra turn, this basically becomes what, 25% chance. He gains a little bit of speed right here from 92 to 98, and then his A2 basically becomes has an extra 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Was this like so before? Yeah, it was 15% and now it becomes 25% chance. I don't really get this because you'll be basically building him with 100% crit anyway in order to get the poisons always. I guess if you're gonna run him in any situation like a dungeon or a clan boss, I don't get the A2. And then his A3 basically now becomes 35% chance to ignore defense instead of the 25 plus 10. So this one's gonna be 35% chance plus 10. That's gonna go to 45% chance. Is my understanding of the change right here. And then his aura increases ally speed in arena battles by 20% instead of the defense in arena battles by 32%. So very solid aura change. It's like a good beginner champion for the arena than anything else, right? So let's have a look at number 2. Number 2 is going to be Canoness. Base speed increase from 89 to 98. Very solid. Very solid boost of 9 speed. And then Stalwart Guardian places a 50% ally protection buff and a 60% increased defense buff on the target for 2 turns. Also places a continual buff on all allies for 2 turns. So let's have a look at what she had before. So Canoness, I'm gonna guess Bannerlords? Bannerlords? Is she Bannerlords? Is she Sacred Order? She must be Sacred Order. If she's not Bannerlords, it's gonna be Sacred Order. Right, yeah. See, I was totally right. So, Stalwart Guardian. So this is a 50% ally protection and a 60% increased defense buff on the target. And then places a continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn. So instead of that, it changes to on all allies for 2 turns. It doesn't change the cooldown. She is now a little bit faster. I like the ally protection, but it's only on a single target, which kind of makes her still pointless a little bit. Very low cooldown though. So 2 turn cooldown for a continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. So I guess the healing aspect of her is going to be much better because it will be a continuous supply of that continuous heal buff. That is not bad. That is definitely not bad because continuous heal buff is the stronger version of the buff. at 15%. It's one buff though, it's not two, so it's not like Battle Khazar. She won't be that amazing, but it's still a solid protection that she provides on one target. And then the continuous heal buff helps everybody else survive a little bit more. You still have the leech, so maybe that enables her to become like a solid clan boss champion in terms of both having the leech on the target and also the continuous heal buff at all times. Increased attack buff on a random ally doesn't do anything. If this was decreased attack, she would have been, you know, godlike type of champion, especially with her buff now to the speed. So let's have a look at the other ones. And we're gonna have Drake being buffed. Drake the meme will be buffed. So Drake, let's see. All right, so Drake is the next one in the list, and he's got a very unique A1 where he gets an extra turn if the target is killed. That's nice to be refreshing your cooldowns of your other skills if the target is low and you try to kill him with the A1. But his A2 will be from a 30% guaranteed crit if the target has less than 30% HP. This will be 50% HP, so that's pretty solid in terms of doing a big burst with the A2. And then his A3 now becomes a 4-turn cooldown when fully booked, attacks one enemy, places a 30% decreased speed debuff and a 50% decreased accuracy debuff on all enemies for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Wow, actually this is not, wow, this is not bad because it's on all enemies, and it's actually a very solid a solid debuff to have even on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not a bad thing. It's basically the cooldown being changed rather than anything else. And then his aura increases ally attack and faction crits by 30%. So I'm guessing that's the change from arena battles to crypts. Next one getting a buff or a change is basically Delver, an epic attack based champion. So let's have a look at the changes. Base speed increased to 98, and then Mark of Death. It's is this her A1 skill? No, it's her A2, attacks one enemy. This is a place a 25% weaken debuff on the target for 3 turns if the target has a heal reduction debuff. The debuff cannot be resisted. So what does this become? A 3-turn, weaken debuff. If the target has a decreased defense debuff, this debuff cannot be resisted. That is solid. It's much better than having a heal reduction. So when a decreased defense is up, she'll be applying the weaken debuff for 3 turns. And that's a 3-turn cooldown as well. That's very solid in terms of having it always on. Her A1 does apply the heal reduction, so I would have expected them to change the A1 to a decreased defense debuff. That would have been nice. And then her finisher skill attacks all enemies, places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion before attacking. Also has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff on the target for 2 turns before attacking. So yeah, that's where her decreased defense comes in. So this does require though, it goes to 75%, and it does require though for her to have accuracy. So the A2 makes no sense for this debuff cannot be resisted. It makes no sense when they try to put these two skills together. But it is fine. It is fine with me. So this one, if the target has a weakened debuff, this goes away and it just has a 75% chance to apply the decreased defense. It's still not that great because you can still have the chance to not land the weekend if the decreased defense doesn't land. So Delver still is kind of useless. Not a bad champion, but if you don't land the decreased defense, then if you don't land the decreased defense, you won't land the weekend, and then she's basically there just doing attacks until the next rotation. So the next the rotation of her cooldown comes, which is a long cooldown out of 4 turns. So I don't get the changes so far. The only change that is kind of worth it is maybe Drake, or no, Canoness. Canoness is the best one. Is the best one. All right, let's have a look at Karam. So Karam is a champion that always seemed to have potential, but was never utilized because his multipliers are very weak. So Karam has this very unique explosion of poison. So deals damage from all poison debuffs on the target instantly. If the target is a boss, they receive 50% less damage. So that sucks. So he's not a budget Zavia by any means, right? He's not a budget Zavia. So let's have a look at what they change. So bloodstained swords attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. That's okay. I'm guessing that's his A1. Instead of a 30% chance, it now becomes 50 plus another 20 there. That's 70% chance. All right, okay. And then Fit of Rage attacks one enemy, 15% extra chance of inflicting a critical hit. Damage increases by 50% if this champion has more than 50% HP. So, okay. Damage increases according to the amount of HP this champion has lost. No. It just increases by 50% if this champion has more than 50% HP. That sucks. That would have been better if this was part of his A3 skill of the explosion. I don't get the changes. Only Canoness is worth it from this one. A welcome change, I would say. Canoness gets the biggest boost out of them all. If you think I've missed something from these changes, leave it down below in the comments, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be posting another video on Death Knight soon enough for the Hydra. He's very, very surprisingly good in there. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.